All right, so tell us a little bit about how your family got down here to North Carolina.
All right. Our father was a year old, and they lived in Lower East Side, New York. Our grandfather was a junk peddler, and the weather was cold, the horse was getting old, the wagon was breaking down.
You see, get away from the ghettos of the east side, come down here where you can see trees and breathe free air.
Get out of the cold weather and see if he can't find a better life in the South. So he packed everything he owned up in this horse and wagon and headed south. Had no idea where they were going to stop, had no family anywhere in the South, knew no one in the South. Our grandfather was a junk peddler, and he continued to do that occupation for quite a few years. And our father was 17 years old, and he decided he's going to go out on his own, so he came to Statesville. He found a little company here that used metal to melt to make machinery with. So Dad figured that'd be a good place to stop because he had some place to sell his scrap metal.
Daddy had a hard time making a living in scrap, so he brought in furniture on consignment. And so he would sell the furniture, deliver it to the farmers or whoever, and pick up their scrap. So he never had an empty wagon. It worked out great, and he did that for years that way.
But that's how we got started, and all of us boys, the 5 of us, as we finished our education, we came into the family business, and that's where we stand.
The Jews, for the most part, were peddlers and scrap dealers because they were excluded from many other trades. They weren't allowed to be in heavy industry or mining, and I suppose were discouraged from owning property in the early years. And they came from Europe, where they were discriminated against in the agricultural activities over there. They were scavengers. They learned the value of things that were discarded, and they knew how to recycle. They were probably the first recyclers of any substance in this country. They also liked to do things that were portable in early years because they were always being run away from somewhere. So if they could carry their trade on their back, they had a better chance of surviving. And I think that was the early beginnings of their economic success, actually.